Hi guys, Liam here from iOS. Welcome to the first video in a new series, iOS development from scratch. Today I'm going to be showing you how to get started with Xcode, and then we're going to be making a Hello World application. So go ahead, create a new Xcode project. For today we're just going to be using a single view application because we're not really doing anything complicated and we only need one view. So go ahead, click enter, and then I'm just going to call this project getting started. Use your organization name, so we could use our developer stream, my name, or your own brand. Then you have the company identifier, which is for your iTunes Connect. So basically this is how you launch an app on the App Store. Then you have your prefix, which you don't need to change, and then you have the devices you want it to run on. Today it doesn't really matter, however for the purpose of this tutorial we'll just do universal. Universal will work on both iPhone and iPad. So we're going to use storyboard today, even though we don't really need to, just to make it a bit easier. Then we're going to press next, and you just choose a place to save your project. Make sure you ticked create a local Git repository, and then click create. Right, this is the summary page where you can add your icons, take the gloss on and off, add your launch images, and you can do the same for the iPad if you've selected iPad or Universal. Then you have various settings such as orientation and the version numbers. So if we head on in, the app delegate is always in every project. I'm just going to explain now what the .h and .m means. The .h is the header file. This is where you declare global variables normally, and it's where you basically define any properties within the class which you want to be able to use in your main file, which leads on to the .m file. The .m file is the main file. This is where you actually code, as to speak. So this is where you'll be changing data, running things, using methods, etc. And again, because we clicked on a single view application, we've been given one view controller with the .h and .m file. The .h file normally always imports a UI kit. This is a framework and it's pretty much essential for the running of iOS apps. And the .m file will import the view controller.h, so it'll import the header file so that we can use the variables which we've declared. Okay, so now we're going to get on to making our first app. So first I'm going to teach you how to create global variables, and then we're going to do it using only local variables. Okay, so in the view controller.h file, we're going to do an app property, and then you want non-atomic, strong. This is pretty much the same for any property, except if you're using specific ones where you might have to copy, and it's pretty much always non-atomic though. And then if you want to link your property to something which is in Storyboard or Interface Builder, you must type IB outlet. I'll show you what I mean by this in a minute. And then you must, for our Hello World app, we're going to be creating a label. So we want UI label. So if you notice here, IB outlet basically stands for Interface Builder Outlet, and UI label stands for User Interface Label. And then we need to give our label a name. So I'm going to call it label hello, and then semicolon. That's basically it for the header file now in terms of declaring the UI label. However, if we want to use this in our .m file, we have to go to the .m file, and then under implementation we have to type @synthesize and then label hello. So we have to basically declare it in our M file as well, so it's ready to use. So what we're going to do is head over to the storyboard. So this is the new version of Interface Builder, and because we're creating a Hello World, what we're going to do is just drag on a label from the sidebar. Sorry, I'll make this a bit bigger for you guys. We drag on a label from the sidebar and just position it roughly in the middle. And I'll center it as well. Okay, so it doesn't say anything specific, sorry. So what we want to do is get the property we just linked up to be associated with this label here. So what we do is, while holding Control, click on the View controller and drag it to our label. It will pop up the outlet. You click on the appropriate one, which in this case is label hello. We click on that and now it's linked. Okay, so that's pretty much it done for Interface Builder. So now we can go back to the .m file and we're going to put it under view did load. View did load is basically the first time or it's loaded into memory ready for you to use. View did unload is when it clears the screen from that view and the orientation is dealt with by bool should auto rotate to interface orientation. We'll cover that in another episode. Okay, so under view did load, we're going to type our label hello dot text equals, so basically we're calling the text function which is built into label, the UI label, and then we're going to call it hello world. Now I think we actually, sorry, yeah, that's it. And now if I run this on an iPhone, you'll notice in Interface Builder it said label, now it says hello world. Okay, so that's the simple way of doing it. However, we don't like taking the simple way, so what we're going to do is we're going to delete the label in Interface Builder, and then we're going to pretty much just delete this because we don't really need to. However, what we'll do is we'll just take out the IB outlet so it won't be connected to Interface Builder. Okay, so we've got an IB outlet. Sorry, we haven't got an IB outlet, we've just got our UI label. So that will still be linked correctly in the main file. So this will still display the correct text, but the label isn't yet shown on the screen. For example, if I run it now, there's no label. So what we need to do is we need to allocate the label. So we type label hello equals UI label alloc. So we're using UI label, and then we're going to allocate it. Then we say init with frame. Basically, this is the size of the label. So you might want 100 by 100. So then you do cg rect make. This is like creating a rectangle. And then we're just going to say 0. This is the coordinates from left to right. Sorry. And then we're going to use 0, so it will position itself in the top left hand corner, and then we'll just use 320, which is the full width of an iPhone screen, and then we'll use 240, which is half of the width of the, actually sorry, we'll just use 50, and then we need to close off with a square bracket, and you'll notice it automatically inserts on here. And then we need our semicolon. But however, if we run this, all that's going to happen is it will position a blank label in the top left hand corner. So what we want to do is position it in the middle. So I'm going to say label hello, and you do dot center equals, and then you create a point which is known as cg point make. And then if you want it to do it in the center of the screen, no matter whether you're on an iPhone or iPad, we can do self dot view. So this is the view that's currently on the screen. Dot center dot x. That will take the x middle value of the screen, and then we can do self dot view dot center dot y for the y positioning. So make it in the middle of the screen vertically, and then we just need to hit semicolon. Right, that's it for positioning the label. Next up, we just need to set the text, so we know what that is. Label hello dot text equals quotation, and then we're just going to call it hello world, and then semicolon on the end. Okay, so now if we run that, you'll notice it still doesn't display. The reason for this is because before we inserted an interface builder, it did some background work for us. However, we haven't told it to actually display it on the view. This is very important. So we're going to go open square bracket, and we're going to say self, so whatever's current at the moment, dot view, so add it to a view, and then we want to add subview. Then we can add label hello, close square bracket, semicolon, and then if we run it again, and you'll notice it's positioned in the middle of the screen from here to here. And it also says hello world. What you'll notice though is, although we centered the label, we didn't center the text. So the way to do this would be to do label hello dot text alignment equals UI text alignment center. Sorry. UI label UI. Sorry. Okay, so sorry, that's the way we have to do it. We're going to set the text alignment to UI text alignment center. But before we do that, before we can close it, we need to put square brackets around them and then semicolon. And then that'll work. Well, it should do. And there we go, the hello world label is positioned in the middle of the screen. It's because we made the label so big. If we shorten the height, then it will be more towards the center of the screen, or so it should. Okay guys, that was a quick tutorial on how to get started with Xcode and create a hello world application just using labels. In the next tutorial we'll probably be looking at strings, text fields, and how to convert them into a label. Okay guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to check our website, iDeveloperStream.com. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.